here goes nothing. Nice. So what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into the channel. So today is a very special day. We are here with the new C8 Z06 and a ton of friggin' mods that I have to install. But before I can install any of them, I kind of need a really good special tool to help lift this C8 properly. And what I have here are some special low profile jack lifts that are from a company called QuickJacks. If you're not familiar with QuickJacks, they're essentially a low profile jack lift system that is a little bit better than your traditional jack lift system that you can get mounted into the floor and all that. This is kind of stuff that you can assemble really quickly, get the car lifted, and then when you're not using it, you can hang it on a wall or just put it away kind of deal, so that you can maintain that kind of low profile look especially in your garage if you don't want permanent jack lifts in your garage. So I'm really excited to have these. I've been wanting to get a pair of QuickJacks for years, honestly. And this was honestly a great opportunity to go ahead and pull the trigger and get these, especially because of all these different mods that I'm installing on the C8 Z06. And I mean, there's quite a bit, and this is not even all of it, actually, believe it or not. So now that I'm giving you a quick update, here is what we're gonna be doing in today's video. We're gonna be opening up these QuickJacks, getting them all set up, and doing like the first initial test of lifting up the C8 Z06 with them. So these are the 5000 TLX versions of the QuickJack systems. QuickJack has a bunch of different versions, everything from a lightweight version, the 3500 one, their 5000 or 7000 series. They basically have one for every single car that you have out there, or even truck for that matter. Some of these are rated for like 9,000 pounds for like designed for trucks, and they have a shorter standard version and then an XL version, which is the LX version. This is what I have for this car, which actually perfectly matches the lifting points that are needed for the C8 Z06. So I'm really excited that I'm gonna be able to safely lift up this car on a normal basis because I do all these mods myself. And yeah, not have to worry about jack stands or anything like that. This system takes care of it all, has built-in locking systems, really, really cool. And they actually end up having some pretty decent prices. I mean, this 5000 TLX version only cost me about $1,600 on a special deal that I found. So not too bad, a pretty reasonable price. Honestly, cheaper than getting permanent jack stands. And yeah, they're portable. You can theoretically take them to like a racetrack or to a buddy's house if you needed to do some work on their car. And they have special wall mounts that I plan to mount them on the wall when I'm not using them, so they're out of the way. So pretty good stuff in regards to that. So, but in any case, I'm gonna get all this QuickJack stuff out of the boxes and kind of lay out what you get with an order from these. And then we're gonna get going to setting this up. Alrighty guys, so we have finished taking out everything from the QuickJack boxes, so let's take a look at what you get. Alrighty, so first thing obviously to notice is the actual QuickJack systems themselves, the actual bars that go underneath your car and such. So there's two of them. And again, these are the 5000 series. So these are rated for 5,000 pounds, which is plenty to take care of this C8 Z06. And these are the XL versions. So the regular versions that they have, the SL versions, are a little bit shorter. I'll put in the actual video what the difference in regards to length. But long story short, that these, in regards to where they would mount, which is right here, they would you would actually put these pucks in these little certain areas right here. That is where the SLX, the XL version, has a little bit of room that exactly matches where your mounting points would be on the C8 Corvette specifically. And that's for the Stingray, Z06, ERAY, all of them. They have the same mounting points. You'll always need to get the SLX versions if you're gonna go that route. Now that being said, next thing we have here is the actual hydraulic motor itself. Is a pretty decent size. I mean, I'll put my hand for reference. I think it's about like 1.5 feet or so. Doesn't take that much room. I will say these things are pretty freaking heavy. They are about 80 pounds each. So they aren't the easiest things to lift just outright, but they do have rollers on this side of the lift. So when you want to lift it, you can lift. It's kind of hard to lift with one hand, but when you do want to lift it, they do have these little handles that you can kind of attach here and put alongside. You can lift it up that way, and then you can actually roll these around in your garage. So that's kind of actually pretty neat. And these come standard with the actual QuickJack system. So really nice that it has that extra little feature and has the rollers, because honestly, these would be kind of heavy to move around on a normal basis. But having those little wheels on there and then having the handles makes a bit of difference. Now, coming over here, we have the actual rubber pucks. They come standard with two different sizes, a tall and a medium. And these would essentially go, like I said, into this little crevice area, depending on where your jack points are. And then you lift from that little section. Now, for the Corvette specifically, I did purchase these extra ones from QuickJacks that are low profile. Basically, yeah, they're just low profile. Gives you a little bit of extra clearance to make that fit. I'm not sure if you can lift the C8 Corvette with just a medium block and such. So I'll kind of test it out as I'm looking, but I know for sure these low profile ones will work, especially if you have just a low car in general. Kind of important to have that. Okay, so next thing we'll take a look at is the hydraulic lines that you have. So you have your two hydraulic lines that go directly into the QuickJacks from the motor itself, and then along with the actual connector pieces, the quick connects that you have there. Really, really good stuff. You have your documentation here, and then a couple of extra things that you need to either get or I highly recommend getting. So first thing is these mounts here are sold separately. These are what you would attach to the walls with a stud, and then you can hang these along a wall. And so that's part of why I like the system so much, is that in the end you would be able to hang it and have it out of the way when you're not using it, and then when you need to use it, you just take it off the wall and go from there. So the last thing I will say is that this system comes with no hydraulic fluid in it. Kind of a standard practice with any kind of lift that you're gonna do, you need to buy hydraulic fluid and such. So one of the things that it's going to ask you to make sure you have before installation is just hydraulic fluid, then thread seal tape, and then just a little funnel. Aside from those pieces, the only thing else that you really need are a set of hex wrenches and hex keys, essentially, if I remember correctly. QuickJacks has a very thorough tutorial on how to set this up properly, so I'm not gonna go crazy into detail, but essentially to set these up, the first thing you have to do is attach these hoses to all the different sections between the actual motor itself and the actual QuickJack lifts. Then you need to apply air pressure into these sections right here under 50 PSI, and then you have to then add the hydraulic fluid, bleed the system, then you should be at a point where you can test it and you're ready to go. So yeah, that's everything you get essentially in the kit. So we're gonna get this all set up and then try it out on the C8 Z06. So cue the music. Alrighty guys, so we have finished putting together this QuickJack system. It's all ready to go. It's been assembled, bled, all that kind of good stuff. All that really needs to be done is to put it underneath the car in the proper lift points. Now, that being said, one of the first things that we need to make sure about in regards to the lift points is that you are placing them in the proper positions. And I'm not just talking about at the actual lift points, I'm talking about which one of these goes to which side, because these are weight dependent and it really depends on where the engine is in your car. Basically, wherever the QuickJack big sticker is, that is where you want to put a majority of the weight for your car. So for the C8 Corvette, it's a mid-engine car, so the sticker needs to go towards the back. And then on top of that, the actual locking mechanisms have to be on the outside of the car. So it's more of just honestly just being able to actually lock it and be able to access it without putting your freaking hand underneath the car and it, you know, doing something it's not supposed to do. So those are the two main things you gotta kind of keep in mind. If you have this system and you are lifting it up for the first time, make sure you just know the right setup that you have to do for these. So okay, with that being said, I'm gonna put these under the car and then hope to God I didn't mess up. Alrighty guys, so we have the jacks in the proper place. I made sure that they're hitting the mount points. They're actually really tight in regards to getting the XL. If I didn't have the XL, we'd have to get extenders and just in order for it to be able to fit. But the XL just hits the mount points, so we are kind of ready to go. So without further ado, here goes nothing. So far, so good. And that is the first spot hit on those in regards to the locking mechanism. So I can bring it back down and lock it into place. And that is locked into place. And this was just the first level that it can go to. It actually has a second level. So we're gonna actually raise it up to the max that it can do and really see how high we can get this car. So let's try that out. Man, that gets really freaking high. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous how high it's bringing it up. But this is the new version of their QuickJack system, which has a little bit of extra height to be able to work. And I think that hit it on both sides. Let me check this side real quick. Yeah, it looks like it hit the actual thing right there. And so let me check the other side real quick first before I lower it down. And let's see, yeah, that is set up to be in the lock position. So I'll bring this down and kind of go and lock it into position. So that is the lock position on the high setting, which this is awesome. Like I could literally take a seat, do all the work that I need to do, and be very comfortable in doing this work. So nice. Oh my gosh. And like I was saying before, I don't know if it's gonna get caught well on the camera, but the mounting points, at least for the XL, it is right on the money. I am right there on the very edge, not like going over the edge so it's comfortably in a safe position, but I am using the full extent of this XL edition version. So that is the reason why I wanted to get the SLX one. It has the proper length to be able to cover the lifting points on the C8 Corvette. So again, if you have a C8 Corvette, you're interested to do this, definitely get the SLX versions. That is going to be what gets you there without needing extenders. And the best thing about these is that once you have it in the lock position, I can actually take these hoses off, these quick connect hoses. I can actually take them off since it's in the lock position, but it has to be in the lock position. You don't want to take those off when it's still not in a lock position because you have to relax the the line in regards to it being locked before disconnecting it. So it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, no, this is amazing. Oh, I am going to be able to get so much done. Like, honestly, this would be one of the few things where I feel 100% confident in this. Well, maybe after a few more tries just to, you know, double check my own sanity, but one of the few that I'd be confident to get underneath the C8 Corvette to do certain things like engine oil changes, transmission fluid changes, all that kind of stuff, you know, without worrying about being crushed or not fitting. So that's really, really good. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so excited about this. I have been wanting this system for so long in regards to being able to do a lot of work without having to use like a traditional jacklift. And honestly, using a traditional jacklift, at least on the C8 Corvette, is not a good idea if you have front lift especially. I did a whole video in regards to trying to lift up one side or the other actually can misalign the sensors in regards to the front lift over time. And that's exactly what happened with my old C8 Corvette. So being able to lift it level, which is what you're supposed to do, at least when it comes to the C8 Corvette, if you have front lift, this is the way to go. And I'm so glad that I have this. It is such an amazing system. If you're interested in this system for yourself, I'll have a link in the description below so you could check it out. It's really one of the best tools, not one of the best, this is the best tool I could have given myself in regards to being able to do a lot of this work myself. Oh, this is gonna make things so much easier. And man, I'm just kind of blown away. This is a lot cooler than I thought it would be. So the install wasn't too bad. I did take a little bit more time than usual just to make sure everything was right. I mean, this is lifting a like $130,000 car. I'm not gonna kind of rush through it, and neither would I recommend anybody else rushing through doing this. But it was pretty straightforward. Just so long as you had the right tools, some hydraulic fluid. That's honestly all you really need, along with some hex keys and some wrenches, and you're good to go. So yeah, this is freaking awesome. So the next thing we're gonna be looking at doing is obviously installing all of these different mods onto the C8 Corvette. And that is gonna be really, really cool. So if you haven't subscribed already, I definitely encourage you to subscribe if you wanna check out what all these different mods are gonna be for the C8 Z06. It is going to look amazing. So anyways, I am going to start working on getting all these mods installed on the car. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please check out any of my other videos, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.